one of the biggest fears parents carry, especially parents who are trying really hard to break cycles, is the fear of messing their children up. The fear that one wrong moment, one bad reaction, one missed emotional cue will somehow shape their child forever. And I understand that fear deeply. I think about it all the time. The moments where I lose patience, the moments where I'm distracted, the moments where I'm not the version of myself I wish I could be all the time. And when you love your child that much, it's easy to start believing that the goal is perfection. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've realized perfection is not actually what helps children. In fact, I think perfection would probably be unsettling because children aren't learning how to exist in a perfect world. They're learning how to exist in a human one. And there's actually research around this idea that what matters more for attachment and connection isn't never losing connection with your child, it's repairing it. The recovery matters. The return matters. The moment after the misunderstanding, after the frustration, after the rupture, because that's where trust is built. Not in perfection, but in reconnection. And honestly, that changed something in me because I realized I had unconsciously turned parenting into a performance. Like if I could just become regulated enough, healed enough, patient enough, then maybe my daughter would never carry pain. But I don't actually think that's possible because I think all human beings are born with something deeper than that, a void. And I don't mean that negatively. I think it's part of being conscious, part of being human. There's a strange feeling inside all of us that something is incomplete. And as we grow older, we start trying to fill it. Some people fill it with achievement, some with relationships, some with food, some with substances, some with validation. If I could just have this thing, if this person would just love me enough, if I could finally become successful enough, pretty enough, wanted enough, then I would feel whole. But it never fully works. Because the void doesn't stay filled, it expands again. And I think a lot of us, especially when we begin healing, look backward to explain why the void exists. We start creating a story around it. My parents did this, or my mom reacted this way, or I didn't get enough of this need met. And to be clear, our experiences absolutely shape us. They matter deeply. But I've started wondering if sometimes we give our parents too much power over the void itself, as though perfect parenting could have erased it entirely. And I don't think that's true. I think the void is part of the human condition. Our wounds shape the story around the void, the way we interpret it, the way we cope with it. But the void itself, that longing, that incompleteness, I think it belongs to all of us. And strangely, that realization has brought me peace as a parent, because it means my job is not to create a child who never struggles. That's impossible. My job is not to perfectly protect her from discomfort, or from every future insecurity, or from every future pain. My job is to help her learn how to exist inside the human experience, to teach her that emotions are survivable, that rupture can be repaired, that imperfection does not equal lack of love. And honestly, those moments where I'm not perfect, they may actually matter more than I realized. Because those are the moments where both of us get to practice something real: repair, patience, grace. Struggle itself is not evidence of failure. Struggle is part of growth. And I think sometimes parents are trying so hard to remove every obstacle from their child's life that we accidentally communicate something dangerous. That discomfort means something has gone wrong. But discomfort is unavoidable. Frustration is unavoidable. Loss is unavoidable. The goal can't be to eliminate them. The goal is to learn how to move through them without abandoning ourselves. And I think the same is true for parenting. The trick isn't becoming perfect. It's realizing perfection was never the game. Because if perfection is the goal, you will live in constant fear, constant self-monitoring, constant guilt. If the goal becomes connection instead of perfection, presence instead of perfection, repair instead of perfection, then something softens. You stop treating every mistake like catastrophe. You stop seeing yourself as one wrong moment away from ruining your child. And instead, you start trusting something deeper. That love is resilient. That relationships can bend without breaking. That your humanity is not automatically harmful. And maybe, most importantly, you stop needing to fill the void completely. You stop trying to solve the unsolvable. And in doing that, you finally begin to feel peace around it. Not because the void disappeared, but because you stopped expecting perfection to erase it.